lovely sunny Mallorca. For those of you that watch both my Wednesday videos and my Sunday videos, this could be slightly chaotic. So I'm vlogging this trip twice. Once just like showing you all around Mallorca, all the bits that I visit anyway, showing you all the restaurants that I recommend, the hotel that we're staying at, etc. But this video is all of the books and all of the bookish stuff that I do when I'm on holiday. And honestly, I'm so excited. Obviously, I had the trip to Italy recently and I just didn't get to read as much as I wanted to because there was just so much activity. But this is me and my mum and my sister away for 4 nights, just chilling by the pool, chilling on the beach, just fully relaxing for a few days. And I am thinking I'm gonna get so much reading done. So I'm setting myself a bit of a challenge just to see how much I do actually read when I've got full chill time, like how much do I read on holiday. So these are the supplies that I've brought for myself for the next few days. I have got beach read, which I very briefly started at the weekend, but pretty much I'm not very far into it. I read a tiny bit on the plane, but me and my mum were mostly chatting for the entire time, so I haven't got very far through beach read. So I'm starting off with beach read. And then how cute is this little book bag? It was actually a bag that I got a dress that I think came in once. But because it's like velvet, I think it cushions my books really nicely. So I'm using this as my little book bag now. And then the other books that I brought with me are Carrie Soto is back. I've mentioned this. I'm so excited to read this now that I finished Malibu Rising and Wimbledon is on. It feels like the perfect time to get into the tennis vibe. And then the third book that I brought is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which is Holly Jackson's. We know there's a TV Netflix adaptation. I haven't watched that. Everybody says read the book first. That is my plan. We'll see if I get to it. This one is like a little bit bigger than the others. And then I also brought my Kindle because why not? And I don't know if I'm gonna need to dive into anything else. There's a chance I might go, I don't actually want to read any of these 3 and I want to try something new, but I think 3 books in 4 days is genuinely impossible, but we'll see how far we get. Hopefully I will finish at least 1 and head into the second. And I think I'll probably start with these 2, but anyway, here is to the next 4 days of sunshine reads and I think beach read, which I mean, it's the title of the book. It could not be a more perfect one to start with, but yeah, happy bookish holidays, everyone. So we're about to go out for dinner. I am now 104 pages into beach read and I'm loving it. It's so good. I'm loving January. I'm kind of loving Gus. I'm only 100 pages. Oh, I guess only. That is a decent chunk through like a 400-page book. I'm a quarter of the way in, but I'm really enjoying their banter. I think it's so fun. I have so many questions about like what Gus's story is. We've got quite a lot of info on January's background, but I just don't know anything really about Gus yet, apart from the fact that he's kind of a vibe and I love his banter. So yeah, I have lots of questions still. So far it's really good. I actually have no idea what kind of a rating I'm going to pop out with this for yet. I feel myself like wanting to pick it up, but I'm also not like 100% gripped, but then maybe I am. I don't know. Anyway, I'm really enjoying it. The only thing I'll say I have noticed is that there are some kind of like parallels between beach read and funny story that I feel like I've noticed already. Just small things in terms of immediately my brain went straight to when I was reading there's a book club in the town that they are in beach read, and it really reminded me of the gambling club thing. What was it called? Like the poker night in Funny Story. So I can't tell if I like the fact that there's a parallel or if it feels like it's kind of reminding me of a different book rather than being its own book. I don't know yet. I still feel like I have a lot of questions, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm gonna sit here, read a little bit longer. I've probably got a good like 20 minutes of reading before Mum's ready, and then we're gonna go for dinner. I've completely failed to say hello yet today. I've just come up from the pool. It's like 5 o'clock, so we've probably got like another hour by the pool today, and I've come up because I need a different book to read. I finished beach read first thing this morning, and I love it so much. I'll talk about it in more detail at some point. I can't decide between like 4.5 or 4.75. I need to reflect on it, but I loved it. It was so lovely. I loved the way January talked about the way she feels about stories with happy endings, and how happy ending stories just fill her with a sense of like positivity and such a comfort that like there's good and beauty and happiness in the world, and just like everything's going to be okay, because that is how I feel about happy ending books as well. Like I just love books with a happy ending, but also with the contrast with Gus and the way that he feels that books that are a little bit more complex with more ambiguity about like the good and the bad in the world makes him feel more comforted about that he's not alone in his story being tough, that other people have been through tough stories. Anyway, I just loved that whole thing. I thought it was so, so, so good. I really recommend Beach Read. Sorry, I'm fully out of breath. Our room is like up all of these steps. You see like we're in the mountains. Anyway, and then I've started reading Carrie Soto Is Back, but I'm literally never normally one to read more than one book or have more than one book on the go at the same time. I'm usually one at a time, but something about it, like I'm just not vibing reading quite intense. Like people did say to me it's quite Tennessee. I do quite like tennis, but I'm not like mad about it. And right now I just want something like a little bit more fluffier, and I don't know, I'm not vibing getting into that. So right this minute, I'm probably gonna start that tomorrow. So I came back up to get my Kindle so I could read something on my Kindle. I am actually thinking of like doing a Elsie Silver reread. I'll see how I go. I need to check. Does this have battery? Because that is what we're praying for. What battery have we got? 12%. Well, 12% lasts me an hour. It genuinely might, you know, the Kindle batteries are quite good. And then I'm grabbing my Sudoku book for my sister. I think I've got a little bit burnt today. Mum said I had, although I can't really spot it. But anyway, we're having such a nice day. Honestly, it's just pure bliss, but we'll see how many books. I'm not gonna get through all the books on this trip. I thought I was gonna for sure. But I think I'm gonna do an Elsie reread. Then we'll go back to Carrie Soto Is Back. We'll see how we get on to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Right, let's get back into the sunshine. Officially poolside today. I've got my book bag, so a bit of a recap of where we're at so far. Finished Beach Read, absolutely loved it. Highly, highly, highly recommend. But there was something missing from it, I think, for me, that like it just wasn't like a full 5-star. I think there was like maybe a complexity, maybe there was something like just high stakes missing. I don't know what it was, but there was something just like slightly missing that just docked it down to maybe like 4.5 or 4.75. And then I've started Carrie Soto Is Back. I'm really enjoying it, but it is quite Tennessee. And I kind of just felt the urge to read something a little bit more just like fluffy and light. And anyway, I felt the pull back to a reread, and I've obviously been like yapping on about how much I love Elsie Silver for so long, and I'm like, am I giving you guys like almost false recommendations? Like, is it actually really good, or am I going to go back to it and then be like, actually this is really cringy, or it's just like not what I thought? So I've started rereading Heartless, which is the second book in the series, which is like one of my top 3 Elsie Silver books, I'd say, and I'm currently 52% of the way through, so I'm doing a reread. I'll easily finish this today. I just raced through Elsie Silver books so quickly. It's so good. I can confidently say that I wasn't making it up, and it's just like the perfect poolside read. So I'm going to read this, and I'm probably going to interdisperse. Like I said, I've never normally like flicked between books, but today I think I'm going to interdisperse my reading of Heartless and Carrie Soto Is Back. And I might even just be really bold and start A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I don't know. Today I'm feeling like I could just literally like pop between all of them. We've got such a long, chill beach day today. Like we went out to the town for a little bit of an explore this morning, which you'll see in Sunday's vlog, which was so nice. But normally we've had like a couple of things we've done each day to split the day up a little bit, whereas today we did it this morning, and now we're literally just chilling until dinner. Dinner's not till 8 o'clock, so I'm thinking I can probably burn through quite a lot of this, but anyway, a very successful bookish trip so far, and it is absolute bliss to be reading a small town cowboy romance by the pool in the sunshine. Perfect. So just got back from another day at the pool. It's now about 20 to 7, so we're going to start showering and getting ready for dinner. But it's been another very successful reading day. I finished Heartless. I wasn't making it up. It is just as good as the first time I read it. 5 stars. It's just so good. You can't give a book anything less than 5 stars if you literally read the whole thing in like less than a day. If you haven't read it yet, definitely read it. I've started A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Honestly, I haven't read very much of it. I'm literally on page like 20, so I've really not read very much at all. But I think it's going to be so good. The start is so good for those of you that like went to school in the UK, and I don't know if the EPQ is like a broader thing than just the UK, but it's basically all based around a girl when she's doing her A-levels does her EPQ, like, which is called your extended project qualification, on the murder that happened in her small town 5 years ago, and she basically doesn't think the boy that was framed for it actually did it, and she wants to find out the truth. Anyway, the first 20 pages, like, it's all written really well, it's going really well. So I'm reading that. I am now also simultaneously reading Carrie Soto is Back, which is also going well. Again, I probably only read about 20 pages of this today, not very much at all, because I was mostly reading Heartless, then started Good Girl's Guide, and then read about another 10 pages of this, 20 pages max. I also think this is really good, but the vibes are just, it's just not for me right now. I need another cowboy romance. I don't want to keep just rereading the entire Elsie Silver series. So I think I am now going to start a new cowboy, which a lot of you recommended to me, Alive and Wells by Bailey Hannah. So I'm going to give that a go. It's actually on Kindle Unlimited, which is amazing, so I don't have to pay for it. I think I'm going to start that this evening. It says Wells Ranch Series Book 1. I honestly know absolutely nothing about it, so it's a bit of a blind recommendation from some of you. So thank you for recommending it. I did have a cheeky look on Goodreads. I haven't even read like the summary or anything of it whatsoever, but it's got over 4 stars on Goodreads, which is pretty insane for a rating. I sometimes feel like the Goodreads ratings just are highly variable. So anyway, I'm going to start that this evening and I'll let you know how you go, but a very successful reading day so far, and this is the cover of Alive and Wells. If I love it, I'll definitely get the actual book, but a cowboy hat amongst some like natural foliage. I mean, I just don't see how far wrong I can go because cowboys on a ranch. Anyway, time to dive into this, enjoy the sunset, and I think we're about to pop open a bottle of Prosecco as well. So nice. Grace just said, am I going to tell everybody that there's an 11-year-old girl reading this book in the pool? There are people in the pool. There was one girl around by the pool today who is 11 because she was talking very loudly with her new made friend, and they were talking all about what it's like being in year 7. And she was also reading this book. She's about halfway through it. So it is definitely YA, which I knew when I bought it. But my sister spotted it, so also, like, I started it and I thought this is written very well for an 11-year-old. Anyway, I think it's gonna be very good, but 11-year-olds were reading it, so that is a warning that if you do pick up The Girl's Guide, well, I know it's so popular, so many of you have probably already read it, but it is kind of like a children's book, or it's a YA book, so it's young adult, but I think it's very good so far though, and she was clearly enjoying it because she was about 3/4 of the way through, and I will let you know what I think of Alive and Wells very soon. And this is Grace, judging my book taste from over there. Grace is currently listening to the audiobook of Throne of Glass and is currently on Tower of Dawn. How are you finding Tower of Dawn?
Very good.
It's very good.
I like it.
It's so painful. I've wanted someone to talk these books about for so long. My sister finally starts to read them or listens to them, and she's so silent. She like silently loves them. And I keep having to be like, do you like it? And she's like, yeah, I love it. I'm like, anything else to add? So anyway, she's on Tower of Dawn. She didn't do the tandem read. She didn't realise that was an option, or a tandem listen. To be fair, a tandem listen is probably quite hard. Do you think? Because you could just like jump into each book and press play. Just press play. Anyway, so I think she's regretting that slightly. I do genuinely, a lot of people say do the tandem for your reread, so you can also do it for your reread if you ever listen to them again. But I did it for the first time and I do really recommend it. And for just to add to the dialogue online, the arguments online, Grace read Assassin's Blade 3rd, but thinks she should have read it first. Do with that what you will. I know the arguments are out there when you should read it. The author says you should read it 3rd. Lots of people say you should read it 3rd, but a lot of people say you should read it first. So Grace thinks she read it 3rd, but she wished she'd read it first. Who knows? Right, anyway, I'm gonna jump in our little pool, which is basically more of a bath, and then grab a drink. I love how those of you that watch my Wednesday and Sunday videos are literally going to be getting so many like dual points of view of this trip. But anyway, I am now 53% of the way through Alive and Wells and I'm enjoying it. It's not like amazing, it's not as good as Gold Rush, but or Chestnut Springs, or to be honest, Rose Hill, but it's pretty good. Like, I'm enjoying it. And I'd say at the moment it's maybe like it was kind of at the beginning I was like, this is like a 3.25 book, and then the more I read it, the more it's kind of like edging up to a 3.5. I don't think it'll ever hit the 4 zone, but yeah, I'm halfway through. I'll definitely finish this on the plane, but I just wanted to give you like a realistic view of how much I've read like whilst actually on holiday. And so far I've read 2.5 books, and I'll probably complete the third on the plane when we get home. So 3 books in 4 days. I mean, that's pretty intense going, but it has been a very chill holiday. It's been so nice. I've literally loved being sunk into like romance heavy books. I also read a little bit more of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder today. Really enjoying that book. I can't wait to finish that off on the sofa, probably in the rain when I get home. But yeah, now heading to the spa, getting ready to get on the plane, and then yeah, it's been a very, very successful few days of reading. So I'm officially back from Mallorca. First of all, look at this all pink fit I'm in today, because it's so basic, but I'm loving it so much. Maybe it's just some pink in the pink room, I don't know. But I'm feeling very, very pink today. I've got this top on from Abercrombie, which I love, and my favorite like pink trackies. I'll definitely link both of these. I'm trying to get better at link the things I wear, because whenever you guys ask me, it's always such poor form that I don't just have the stuff linked. So I'll definitely link both of these. Anyway, I did finish Alive and Wells on the plane, and it was really good. I think I'm gonna have to take back what I said and give it 4 stars. Like, it was really good. The ending as well, like, I really enjoyed it. If you need something to read after Elsie Silver and you've read all of her books, definitely. If you're looking for a small town cowboy romance, Bailey Hannah has entered the chat, and if I'm not mistaken, Alive and Wells was her debut novel. And for a debut, I think this is so good. I've been thinking about it since I got back, whether I'm like happy with my 4-star rating. And I was looking at some of the books I've read over the last month or so, and I would rate it higher than Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Just for the Summer was so good. That was a 5-star read, which this wasn't. But anyway, this was genuinely so good. Definitely skip it if you don't like spice. There's a lot of spice in here. Same as Elsie Silver's books, like just skip them. It's probably not worth it for you. But for the girls that like their spice, this was so good. And I have to be honest, I finished this on the plane and then I immediately started the second book, Seeing Red. So I'm already enjoying the second one, which if that doesn't tell you that this is good, because I immediately had to start the next one, that just tells you. And then I also have already looked up the third one, which isn't out yet and is coming out on the 24th of September. So I'm definitely marking my calendars for that one, because I'm 99% sure, having being already partway through the second one, who the third book is going to be about, like which couple. And I think it's going to be so good. Anyway, so I definitely recommend Alive and Wells. And then just a brief recap on the other books I read when I was on holiday. Beach read, I'm gonna stick with 4.5, I think I'm gonna give this. I don't think I can give it any higher than that, because I think I said this when I was talking about it whilst I was in Mallorca, but I just think it was missing something a little bit more like high stakes or a little bit more dramatic. It was really lovely and it was beautifully written, and when I was reading it, I was so into January and Gus. But then as soon as I started reading my other books, like since having finished Alive and Wells, I'm now like, oh, I can't quite remember like what happened in this. This was quite dramatic in lots of ways. This was more beautifully written. Anyway, 4.5, 4 stars. This could even get 4.25 to be honest. I don't know if it's allowed that, but maybe 4.25. And then Heartless Elsie Silver, 5 stars. And then I honestly have really high expectations for Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I'm really enjoying it, it's so good. For some reason, I'm not just like sitting down and binging the entire thing. I'm kind of picking it up amongst like whilst I read other books, but I'm kind of enjoying that as well. As I said, I've never had the experience of reading multiple books at the same time before, and I never thought that would be me. But I'm weirdly kind of enjoying it. I think some books are meant for binging and some books you can kind of like drop into, and definitely I could not recommend more if you've got a holiday coming up, or when you are sitting by the pool, sitting on the beach, or you've just got some sunshiny chill time. A sexy cowboy romance is just Nothing quite hits the same. Anyway, that is it for everything I read on holiday. So that is 3 books that I managed to finish before I touched down the plane over a 4-day trip, and I'm happy with that. It was a very non-serious challenge, but it was a fun way to just get in a lot of reading time whilst I was away to just decompress and relax. But yeah, that is it for this one. I'm so excited for next week's bookish video because I am doing a haul. I need to get some good new books in and start to build out my TBR list over the next couple of months. And as for this week's Sunday video, I'm so excited to show you around the rest of Mallorca, give you a proper room tour, and just hang out in the sunshine for a little bit longer this week. But apart from that, I hope you're having such a lovely week so far, and I truly cannot wait to see you in the next one. Bye guys.